Something a lot of people don't talk about in your 20s is when you have a glow down moment. Now, we've all heard of like glow up. It's pretty much when you're, elevating your life, your looks, whatever. But nobody ever talks about the glow down period. This is when you become anxious, depressed, you don't know what you're doing, and, you just kind of let go of yourself. And I went through that like a year ago. I'm gonna be honest, I'm still trying to recover from my glow down period. Like, I basically gained a lot of weight. I became more anxious. I kind of just like stopped taking care of myself the way that I used to in my early 20s. And I feel like nobody talks about how stressful mid 20s are. Like, it's basically that time in your life where like everything's kind of coming together, you know what I mean? Like your career, like you're kind of like siloing out like what you want to do, like next steps, and it's stressful. Yeah, I don't know. Blowdowns literally suck.
What's happening, everybody? It's your girl tuadior. Happy 2026. It's so crazy because New Year's are always associated with glow up.
We're getting hot in 2026.
I feel like everyone wants to glow up for the new year.
But today I wanted to talk about the glow down, and that is the era that we pretend does not exist. The culture is obsessed with glow ups. We love a good transformation. We love the before and after. We just love to see how somebody goes from 0 to hero.
Shots, I am what's hot, all the lies gotta stop. Don't act like you ain't know.
But the second somebody loses themselves, we kind of see it as a moral failure. We kind of see it as they fell off. Something went wrong. Why is it that you're only respected at your peak? And why is it that you only have to be your best self to be celebrated? The truth is, glow ups are very marketable and glow downs are not. The beauty industry cannot sell you a life gets hard and sometimes you just gotta go through the growing pains. That's not gonna sell no product. Before and after pictures, they trigger the dopamine. Transformation gives hope, and hope makes people spend money. While on TikTok, you're constantly being sold the idea of the best routine. You're just one skincare routine from your perfect self.
This is what I looked like before.
Slay, mama. Yeah, ice. Slay.
This is what I look like now. If your goal is to get so fine within the next 2 months that everybody wants to date you, come with me. This is how.
If you look the exact same as you did last week, you're not glowing up, you're not growing, you're just scrolling. So here are 5 tips to physically glow up in just 1 week.
Glow ups are content, but glow downs are inconvenience. As you go on social media, you see everything is curated. The clean girl routine, that girl routine, all the pretty privilege propaganda. So there's this huge incentive to always be your best self at all times. We're taught that if we hydrate, journal, and do that skincare routine, everything is going to be completely fine. But life doesn't really cooperate with the aesthetics. Breakup happen, money fluctuates, you gain weight. It can't always be good vibes and good times all the time. And when life hits you, it doesn't care how good your skincare routine is. It doesn't care how good your 5 a.m. morning routine is. It's gonna hit you. And you might fall off. We don't really hate glow downs per se, but we hate decline. We tie beauty to value and we tie productivity to worth. If your worth is only tied to when you're at your best and falls off when you're worth, then that's just conditional value. You notice anytime a celebrity gains weight or gets older or ages, people say they fell off. And what did they fall off for? Humanity? I mean, honestly, people act like it's like if you don't look at your best at all times, there's something wrong. And that is the reality of life. Life is not going to be linear in that nothing will ever happen to you. Nothing will go wrong. You're always going to have a high point and a low point. And I think that sometimes in this generation, we're always trying to be like, we got to look the best. We got to have the next thing. But at the end of the day, life is gonna life. One thing about a glow down season is that it really strips down your ego. They expose your insecurity and they test whether your confidence was actually inside of you or just external. When you're not glowing, you find out what's real. You find out what's from the surface. You find out who's there for you and who values you. You find out what actually serves you, and it can also serve as like a point of recalibrating. I feel like glow downs are actually an identity detox, because when you're at the bottom, the only way you can go up is at the top. There's so much self-improvement, but there's a huge lack of self-acceptance. If you're always chasing the next glow up, the next thing, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have any goals for yourself and you should just like, sit down and be like, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is you need to embrace the good and the bad. We have never ever in this life been promised that everything will be perfect. We've never promised that everything will go well. I think people live as if like everything is just going to work out. And sometimes you have to account for the fact that you might go down. You might go down a little bit, but you have to learn self-acceptance and to love yourself in every form and every step of the way, not only when you're just at your peak. In 2025, I actually had a glow down. Things were starting to go a little bit awry. Things have just been going out of whack, and it was really hard for me because for the past 3 years, I had always been on my peak. I'm always looking good, everything is always going well. I think I have a video on here where I was talking about my peak, and I never thought anything could go wrong because I always felt like I was always doing the right thing. I'm doing this, I'm on this internship, I'm on, this skincare, I'm on this, I'm doing that. Oh, I'm gonna just do this. But what you have to realize is that if life is always linear and perfect for you, you'll never learn. In my glow down season, I honestly learned who's actually there for me and who's not there for me. I've learned that some of the things that I actually saw that was so important that I couldn't live without, I can live without it. I've learned how to accept myself, and more importantly, I've learned how to accept life. And I've learned that, and if you're a Christian, you kind of know this too, but your plan doesn't always work out. I always felt that if I wasn't glowing, I was failing. And that's what this culture teaches us. If we're not at our peak, there's no value and there's no worth. But we have to learn resilience, and we have to learn how to show up for that self. It's inevitable. So what I believe is that glow down eras are necessary. They're necessary for your character development, and they should be embraced. We shouldn't just see somebody going through a rough time and just be like, ugh, they fell off, they're this. They're human, they're still learning, they're still growing. And you can't be at your number one self if you've never been at the bottom, if you've never suffered, if you've never struggled. Then how will you know how to be at the top? And then when you get to the top, you'll be able to appreciate that moment because you know what it's like to be at the bottom. But if you never experience a glow down, how do you respect a glow up? We don't need to be constantly performing all the time. What we need to do is learn how to embrace ourselves in all our forms. Love on yourself extra harder in your glow down era. And if you are currently in your glow down era, I just wanted to tell you that, girl, you got this. You can go outside. Don't hide in the house and wait till you glow up before people see you. Embrace yourself in every single era, because that's how you're going to be able to appreciate it when you're back at your peak. I'm your girl tuadior. Thank you so much for watching this video. Comment down below how you feel about the New Year's and glow up and glow down. Are you currently in a glow down era? What helps you out in your glow down era? Or if you recently just went through a glow up, what did you learn from your glow down era? I really want to thank you guys for supporting me. Please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. Help your girl out. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.